Hi, welcome to Brookfield Zoo. My name is Ann. I'm the lead animal care specialist for Large Carnivore, and today we're going to talk about International Polar Bear Day. Behind us, you're actually going to see Hudson. He's our biggest and youngest polar bear here at Brookfield Zoo. He turned 14 years old last December, and he is our biggest bear as well. So Hudson's actually a little over 1,000 pounds right now, and he's over 10 feet tall as well. So we put some snacks out here so you guys could check him out and see. You can see those big paws that he has right there. Those are actually built just for walking around on the ice like you see on the exhibit. So he has papillae on his paws, and he also has webbing between his toes to help him swim like a paddle. He has lots of snacks out here that he likes. You can actually see he's got a lot of peanut butter, and he has a coconut, and those are things that he enjoys. So polar bears are actually marine mammals. They're the most carnivorous and aquatic of them, of all of the 8 bear species. They can actually be found on 5 of the polar bear nations, which ice bears are found on, including United States, Canada, Russia, Denmark, and Norway. There's about 25,000 that remain in the wild and about 65 in professional care. So I mentioned Hudson's 14 years old. Bears can generally live around 20 to 30 years in zoos, so he's right around the middle of the age. They're actually designed to handle these really cold winters, especially like the one we just had here in Chicago, so they can handle up to negative 50 degrees in temperature by having over 4 inches of blubber throughout their whole body. And you can see he has little ears and a little tiny tail, and that's actually to keep them from getting any kind of frostbite, so it conserves the energy in the middle of their body. So while he is eating peanut butter, that's not what his actual full diet is. So he gets a lot of fish and meat and some chows, and in the wild, they actually eat ring and bearded seals, whales, and walruses. They actually can be known to wait for several days at a ice hole waiting for a seal to come up to take a breath, and that's actually how they hunt in the wild. They're not as good as swimmers as the seals are, so they wait for them to come up for air or to beach themselves. So for International Polar Bear Day, what we want to bring attention to is climate change. So polar bears are highly affected by climate change. We need to do everything we can to help them adapt to climate change. With this increase in greenhouse gases, they're actually losing all their sea ice. As I mentioned, they need that ice to get out to get closer to the seals since they don't swim as well. And so anything we can do to help with the sea ice and climate change are actually going to help those polar bears. So things you can do are vote for elected officials that recognize that our carbon-based society isn't sustainable, so they're going to help take action on climate change. We can minimize our consumption, reduce, reuse, and recycle. It's so great if you can shop local, avoid products with excessive packaging, help to create your stewardship in your community by supporting green initiatives like farmers markets, food waste reduction efforts, bike to work programs. Even though polar bears are hugely carnivorous and eat lots of meat, we could actually eat less meat and help out with climate change. And as well as we could eat everything that we have so we can reduce our food waste. We can do things in our home like insulation and switching to LED bulbs, and all of those things would help us in our environment to help with climate change and to help out Hudson and all the polar bears in zoos around the United States as well as in the wild.
What color is a polar bear's skin?
He actually has black skin, and his fur is actually hollow and clear, so it looks white because it's refracting the light right now. But his skin underneath is dark, and that helps him absorb the sunlight so that they can handle much colder temperatures in the wild and still maintain their body temperature.
So why is sea ice so crucial for their hunting?
So they need to get out on the sea ice so they can get closer to seals, so they can approach them when they're out sunning or when they come up for air and they haul out, because that's when they move the best on the land. On the sea ice is better than the seals out on the land. So seals are really clumsy on land, whereas polar bears are really adept on land. And seals are much faster and sleeker and quicker swimmers in the water, so polar bears can't quite hunt them as well in the water. So we need that sea ice to get them out as far as possible to meet up to where the seals are, as well as the whales and the walruses.
Hudson loves to eat lettuce and carrots and things like that. So why couldn't a polar bear just live on vegetation?
So Hudson's actually named for the Hudson Bay region, which is one of the 19 areas of polar bears. And in that region, it's a little bit warmer. It's the closest to the United States of the regions in Canada. And so there are some root vegetables and some land animals, so that's why we use produce in our diets here. But they are designed to actually have to eat meat. They need a lot of lard and they need a lot of meat to actually maintain their bodies and to keep doing all these cute things that they're doing. And so they actually need 1,000 calories a day per pound to maintain their body weight, and they just can't get that with the amount of produce that they would eat.
What was Hudson doing there when he was rolling? Why was he doing that?
So that's actually a drying behavior. So he was actually drying out all the water because he's been swimming all day. It's also a way to get colder as well. So that cool snow on his skin probably feels pretty good. And so we see that as mostly, though, a drying out behavior.
Let's see. In the summer, how do the polar bears stay cool?
So at Great Bear Wilderness, we have chilled holding. So all the bears have their own air conditioner and fans on them. We also have our very own ice machine. Our pools are kept at 55 degrees, and so they can take a dip in a cool pool. And so we try and do all these things to keep those polar bears cool during the summer temperatures.
So what's Hudson's favorite treat?
So Hudson loves peanut butter. He loves honey. He really likes any toy that lets him do an ice breaking maneuver that they would do on ice to break it open to have the seals pop out and take a breath. And so it looks like he's giving a toy CPR, but he's actually doing something called ice breaking. And any toy that allows him to do that, he really, really likes.
His paws are really, really big. So why are his paws so big?
So polar bear paws are about the size of a dinner plate on the males, and that's because they use them like paddles when they swim, so they can swim several miles in a row before they get tired. They're also really wide with lots of fur and papillae so that they can get a really nice grip on the ice so they don't slip and slide at all, so they can hold up their body weight, which is it can go all the way up to 1,200 pounds in a large male like that, whereas females are around 700 pounds usually, but so they have a little bit of smaller feet. Well, thank you for joining us today here at Brookfield Zoo. I hope you enjoyed seeing Hudson today. We really hope that you're able to come back when we open on Monday, which is March 1st. And as an added bonus, we actually just brought a brand new polar bear in to hang out with Hudson. She came to us from Utah's Hogle Zoo, and her name is Hope. She's 5 years old, and we hope you can come out and see Hope on exhibit this Monday. And we hope you have a great day.